Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Don't Worry, Darling. So this is the Olivia Wilde movie that has all this controversy. Florence Pugh, Henry Styles, Chris Pine, spitting incident, all this kind of crazy stuff that's going on here. So it's a 2-hour movie, so you got to watch it on the weekend. It also has Gemma in it, Nick Kroll is in it, and it takes place in the 1950s where this house where they live in some utopian experimental community, and she thinks that there's something wrong with the company that her husband works for. I'm assuming, based on what I've seen, very little, is that Harry Styles is the husband and Florence Pugh is the wife. So I don't know. It's only 6.2 on IMDb, but 39,547 people have rated it so far. So I don't know. I'm intrigued by it, but I'm disappointed. I thought it was going to be much higher, even though there's all that controversy. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited. Let me get into it, find out what it's about, give you a better idea, let you know what I think. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Don't Worry, Darling. We're at the 1 hour, 1 minute, 46 second mark. I mean, it is halfway. There's a 2 hour and 2 minute movie. So, I mean, we're right at halfway. And tell you what though, it seems a little slow moving. I wasn't even going to check in, to be honest with you, because there's not a lot to tell. But my daughter stopped down, I stopped it here, I'm like halfway, got to check in, right? So, as I predicted, you know, a great mind, Harry Styles and Florence Pugh are married. They live in this unusual community, and where everybody is, right? So all the husbands, like in unison, go to work. Not really sure what they do, but they all drive out to work. Nobody carpools, which is interesting. And the wives stay home. And the wives are like stay-at-home wives or mothers or whatever, right? So they clean the house, go shopping. They have a trolley that they get on. They don't drive, you know, and then they make dinner for their husband on the way home. So it's, I don't know what the Stepford Wives were about, but it kind of like makes me think of that, but that's really what it's about. So, but there is some mystery behind what's going on. What are the guys really working on? Chris Pine kind of runs the entire community. He's like the mayor, and it's his whole project, and he has hired everybody. He has these lavish parties and stuff like that. Right now, at this point, they're out at a black tie affair, dancing, singing, having a good time, right? And they seem like they charge everything. So it's like they don't even have to use money. They just get what they want by living there, which is a very interesting concept. I was thinking about that, like, you know, if you became rich enough and you wanted somebody to just live there and not have to pay them, like you get your house for free, you get your car for free, you get anything you want for free, all within the confines of this community. And you just have to work 8 hours a day, kind of thing, you know, like whatever you want, you know, and then you teach people to be, nobody's going to hoard anything, it's, you know, all that stuff. Anyway, that's a whole nother concept that we can talk about maybe at another time, but right now, like I said, it's slow moving. So one girl in the community starts to, you know, like, start second guessing things. She thinks something's going on, right? Nobody really, they think she's crazy. Well, now Florence Pugh is kind of thinking that as well. And there's some things that make her think that way, right? So that's where we are right now. She's starting to more and more kind of drift away from the community kind of stuff and wants to figure out really what's going on. So that's where we are. I gave you a lot, so I'm going to get back to it here. I guess there was stuff to tell you at the check-in. But I'll keep going here. If there's anything interesting before the credits, I'll let you know. If not, I'll see you at the credits. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Don't Worry, Darling. I have to say, you know, when you get to understanding what's going on, which I told you right at the check-in, right? The whole plot line and all that kind of stuff, you really start thinking, okay, what's the big to-do, right? I mean, what is there really something going on? And if so, what is it? You know what I mean? What is this? That's what you're waiting for. You know, so you start thinking about different things and what it could be, all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately for me, the big to-do was a big letdown. I don't know what they could have done, to be honest with you. You know, there's a lot of different things, a lot of different avenues that they could have went. I think they did a good job of, you know, not making it easy to guess kind of thing, you know. So I like that aspect of it. Yeah, you know what? I liked Harry Styles, to be honest with you. I don't even know how much. You know, I've seen him in whatever, one of those superhero movies for the last couple of seconds, whatever they were. That one, I forget what that was. But anyway, I thought he was pretty good. He's a pretty good actor. I liked him. Yeah, a lot better looking than I actually thought of him. I haven't seen him that much, but who cares? And Florence Pugh I like a lot. You know, in Black Widow and stuff like that. I thought she was good in all the DC, the Marvel movies. Anyway, TV shows. And what was that one crazy movie she was in? Anyway, enough about that. So I thought they were good. I thought the concept is interesting, but it felt played before. You know, like I said the Stepford Wives. Maybe that's not it, but it felt Truman-ish, right? You know, so it's, you know, it felt familiar, I'll say, but that didn't keep me uninterested. I stayed interested, and I thought it was directed well. I thought Olivia Wilde did a good job. I liked her as well. But again, when they come out and they tell you what's going down, I was like, oh, okay. And the way they set it up right then was cool. Not to go into too much detail there, but then afterwards, as you know what's going on and seeing, I don't know, it's kind of weird. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in the spoiler alert section. I'm not going to spoil the movie, I just want to talk about two things. But, you know, interesting, worth the watch. I see why it's a 6.2. I'm probably at a 6 myself. I had higher expectations. There you go. Alright, really quick, I just want to say two things. It's not going to spoil it, but it will tell you a little bit more about the movie. So if you don't want to hear it, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. If you don't mind listening for a couple more seconds, I'm not going to spoil the end, but I am going to spoil some things. Anyway, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. 1. The transition when they start to tell you what's going down, which I'm not going to say, and she's a doctor, you know, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, what happens, and then she goes in, and she goes under, and it comes out a doctor. But that's not the case. So I liked that transition, like there. I thought that was cool, because it made me think, oh, this is different. Cool. But then when they went with the Harry Styles with the long hair, and it's like, I mean, I get the background at first, you know, him at the computer, that stuff. But then he has just like this long hair, it's like just a hippie dude. It's like, what happened there? You know? So, there you go. There are the two things I wanted to bring up. One started out interesting, turned out to be different than what I thought. And the second one, I don't know. Alright, that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about. I was referencing before, and it's hard to talk about those things without saying spoiler alert. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.